This Mate Smart training video is going to cover inventory management software capabilities. We'll focus on simply adding inventory items to the spares list. Okay, I opened the yellow background bolt, and this is our raw inventory data. I'll click the New button. I'll pick an item type. Keep in mind, anything in any of the drop-down boxes is user-defined, so you can add as many item types as you like. I'll pick a part group. Again, these are user-defined. I'll pick a preferred vendor, a location, a part number, okay, a description, a quantity, a unit cost, a minimum stock, a reorder quantity, and now we're getting into the fields that aren't required, reorder level, and a lead time in days. And then date acquired, I could set this to whatever. Now the identifier and notes field, these are actually user-defined. We can change this. They're just alphanumeric text fields. Right now they say identifier and notes, but you could change them to whatever you want. It's totally open. This is an active part. This means it will show up in the parts drop-downs if we're using parts. And if we check critical part, then of course it's a highly important part. So I'll click Save, and that just added that part to the system. So that's essentially how you add a part. So what if we have the part in there and we want to do something else with it? So I can select the row. Now, I would kind of like to see this all grouped by the part group, so I think I'll click on this and sort it. Okay, and let's flip the sort order around. It's descending order. If we click it again on this little arrow, now it's in ascending order. Okay, so there's our bolts. Okay, and there's the part we just added. Now perhaps we want to add a file attachment to it, and I'm not really sure why you'd want a file attachment on a bolt, but maybe for a more sophisticated piece of equipment you could add a file attachment. Now these file attachments can be anything. They can be a PDF, they could be a Word document, Excel, they could be AutoCAD, they could actually even be a Windows Media Player video or some other type of video format. So you can add up to 255 file attachments to each record. Alright, so I'll save that. Okay, I'm going to talk about a couple of options here. As far as these drop-down boxes go, as I mentioned, everything in them is something you can configure as a user. For the most part, they're only available to administrators, and they're accessed through the options menu. Okay, so if we go configuration options, and I know this is kind of running off the screen, I'm picking add a unit description, for example. You'll get a little screen, it'll pop up, and you can type in whatever unit you want to put in there. Okay, and that will immediately show up in your units. So there's all of these drop-down boxes have that capability. Okay, another option, we can set one of these, save all values from last record or save common values. Now the common values will be, I think, location and vendor and a couple like that. And all values, I don't think it actually saves every single value, but it saves most of them. So if I click New, notice whatever the last record was that I saved, it put it back in here. So if I have maybe some 1/4 inch bolts I want to create now, okay, Okay, I need to pick the part group still. Alright, so there we go. So it makes it a little bit quicker to add the parts. So that's basically how to add a part, edit a part by selecting it. You can change the quantity. Normally the quantities will not be changed directly in the screen unless you're doing an inventory audit. The quantity will be adjusted automatically as you acquire parts through purchasing and as you use parts through the parts usage screen, which is right here. This will be covered in the next couple of videos.